With a vast library of over 1,200 events from boxing's most notable bouts of all time, Boxing TV melds the past greats with today's promising young stars. Boxing TV is the free go-to destination for everything boxing, including classic bouts, live events, and news and information. Boxing TV is available on Local Now, Distro TV, Sports.tv, Select TV, and www.watchboxing.tv. Follow Abrams Boxing on social media at Abrams Boxing on Twitter, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, and at Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show. I'm Marc Abrams. Today we will go over the news, results, and everything in the world of boxing. Errol Spence's big win over Yordenis Ugas. We'll preview Tyson Fury's title defense against Dillian Whyte. We have got three special guests. We got Mercito Gesta, Joel Diaz, who will be taking on each other this Thursday night live on DAZN. Plus Tevin Farmer, the former 130-pound world champion, who will take on Mickey Bay on March 21st in Accra, Ghana. Let's start in Dallas, Texas, or actually Arlington, Texas, to be precise. Errol Spence Jr., 28-0, 22 knockouts, added the WBA welterweight title to already him owning the IBF and WBC titles with a 10th round stoppage over Yordenis Ugas in a pretty entertaining fight. It was a very good fight that both guys, they stood in the pocket for the most part. Spence dominated the action, and except for a little spot in round 6 where he got hit, his mouthpiece went flying. He got buckled a little bit back in the ropes. That seemed to wake him up because round 7, 8, 9, and 10, he kind of went on an onslaught and closed the eye. And we later learned that Yordenis Ugas' right eye, the orbital bone was broke around the eye. So, and then the fight was stopped because the grotesque swelling there. So Errol Spence, again, goes to 28-0, and we look forward to a fight maybe with Terrence Crawford. That's the fight everyone's calling for. Both guys seem to want it. We'll see what happens as the weeks and months, precipitate, and hopefully, the boxing fans will get what they want. So we will look for see what's next for Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. And Ugas, he did okay in defeat. So we'll definitely see him back in some big fights after he heals up from the broken orbital bone. Undercard was so-so. Got some explosive knockouts. One was Isaac Cruz, the former world title challenger who just fought Gervonta Davis, destroyed what's left of Yuriorkis Gamboa. Just rocked him, dropped him 4 times, finished him off with a vicious right hand in round 5 that, you could probably hear from Arlington all the way to Amarillo. So, I mean, that was Isaac Cruz. Expect him. Big fight again. Very exciting fighter is the young Mexican fighter. He's now 23-2-1 with 16 knockouts. Also, rising lightweight contender Jose Valenzuela kind of announced himself on the scene with a 85-second knockout over former world champion Francisco Vargas. Valenzuela landed a vicious left hand, and down went Vargas. Fight was over. Valenzuela is now 12-0 with 8 knockouts. And then world-ranked and undefeated welterweight contender Cody Crowley, a second straight solid win, defeated Kadrilo Kakarov recently, and wins a 10-round unanimous decision over Josecito Lopez. Scores are 98-91 twice and 99-90 for Cody Crowley. So he continues to climb up the rankings. The show successful on site, almost 40,000 people at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, to see this great show on Saturday Night Live on Showtime pay-per-view. Also, some fights on the Showtime portion of the card. Radzab Butayev, he actually lost. Amanda Stanionis is now the WBA regular champion with a 12-round, it was called a split decision for Stanionis. 114-113 for Butayev, 116-111, 117-110 for Stanionis. Stanionis now is a key player in the welterweight division. We mentioned Spence, we mentioned Crawford. You want to put Cody Crowley, that now, obviously because we're talking about him. You want to put Boots and his Virgil Ortiz, Connor Benn, who we'll talk to in a second. And then, so there's some good feet in the welterweight division. Also opening up the Showtime card was Brandon Lee, who may be a welterweight at some point in the near future, went to 25-0, wins a 10-round unanimous decision over Zachary Ochoa. So that opened up the Showtime portion. Friday night in Ontario, California, former world title challenger Ruben Villa scored a 9th-round stoppage over Horacio Garcia. So Villa took about 17-month absence. Looks good. Looked good in the fight. One of the best fights I've seen him fight. So he will be right back in the featherweight title mix sooner rather than later. Saturday in Manchester, England, Conor Benn scored an explosive 2nd-round stoppage over Chris Van Heerden. Ben, who's ranked in the top 5 in all the major sanctioning bodies, again, threw his name in the hat, whether it's a Crawford fight or a fight with Spence or one of those alike. So maybe after a couple more fights, they were saying, and Amir Khan came in the ring, maybe Kell Brook, David Evanesian, one of those type of guys. We will probably see Conor Benn in later in the year. Looking ahead to this Thursday night, live on DAZN, Joel Diaz Jr. takes on Mercito Gesta in a lightweight fight, which will be an interesting fight. That both guys kind of in the same spot. Diaz 26-2, 22 knockouts. Gesta 32-3-3, 17 knockouts. I had a chance to talk to both fighters this week, and so here's my talk with Joel Diaz Jr. My next guest next Thursday night, April 21st, takes on Mercito Gesta in the main event of Golden Boy's new series on DAZN. Joel Diaz Jr., how you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great. And yourself?
Doing good. Good. Thanks for joining us today. Well, we got this big fight April 21st live on DAZN against Mercito Gesta. What are your thoughts as you wind down that training camp?
As I'm winding down now, I'm more than ready. We got 1 week to go, and weight is good. It's been sparring some pretty good rounds, and just not taking this training camp lightly. Just continuing and hoping, waiting for my comeback this upcoming Thursday.
26-2, 22 big knockouts. You were rolling along. You obviously had that disappointing fight against Regis Prograis, and then the law. Then you suffered another loss to Coria. 2 fights down in Mexico. I guess I don't know if you want to term them kind of quote off-Broadway type of fights. What was the reasoning for that?
Just trying to stay busy. Just staying busy and keeping my name in the loop. Coming back from both of those fights, just trying to stay active in the game, so people don't forget who Joel Diaz is, and that's pretty much it.
I talked to Mercito, and first, let me get your opinion. What do you think of him as a fighter at this stage of his career?
I personally think he is a great fighter. I moved with him around back in the day out, and when we were in Big Bear together, but that was a couple of years back. I don't think nothing changed with him, but just not gonna take this fight lightly.
I asked him a question yesterday. You guys are kind of in similar spots. You guys have great records. A couple little setbacks here or there. Kind of, need that breakthrough win to kind of get back into the mix of the inner circle of the lightweight division. Is that the way you kind of look at it?
Yes, sir. This fight will definitely get me back in the loop. Hopefully back in the good rankings, and hopefully for a major fight.
This fight is going to be at lightweight. Obviously, you fought above the weight, a bunch of fights at 140 and even 142 pounds. Obviously, the Prograis fight was 140 pounds. Do you look back on that and say, you know what, maybe I should have stayed around 135 or?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But, I actually do. I came down to, I believe I want to say I weighed at 137 for that Prograis fight, which would. It was no biggie making the 140 mark, and I think that was kind of our fault for trying to go up on weight, I guess. maybe we should have had more fights at 135 to see where our limits were. But I mean, it is what it is. We're back here at 135, and hopefully we take over the division.
Was it like one of those things where it was a real good opportunity, nationally televised, the whole 9 yards? Was that more or less the case for that fight?
Let's just say it was no comment. No comment. But back at lightweight, and hopefully to take over the division as the years come by.
It's a great division. It's a good segue back to 135. It's a great division. A lot of stuff going on. You got Tank Davis. He's got his big fight. Ryan just had a great win last week, and you got Kambosos and Haney getting it on. Obviously, after these all shake out, I mean, you feel a win, or you're going to need a win and maybe another win or two against a decent guy to get you right back in that mix?
A win, and that's all I need, no? After this fight, hopefully whatever my manager Sam Contreras has for me and whatever Golden Boy has for me, then we're willing to take on whatever they throw at us. As I don't want to say it, but I'm getting older. I'm not getting no younger. I just want to fight anybody. And at the top after this fight.
You're headlining. I guess this is the first card on the Golden Boys' new Thursday night series that they're doing a first one in Indio, California. With meaningful fights, people can crossroads, whatever. It's, kind of like a real meaningful fight for both of you guys, because like we mentioned before, the winner is going to get something out of this. How do you feel about being tabbed to be in the first main event?
I feel great. And other than that, I just need to prove to myself. I need to prove to the people and prove to myself that I'm capable of doing and taking over the lightweight division, and hopefully with God's plan that goes through.
Do you take this fight, and I'm sure you take every fight as, must win, do or die, whatever you want to term it, but do you feel, the importance of this fight in terms of this maybe be a little bit more important than some of the other fights?
I do. I do, because this is gonna get me back in the loop, But you don't take no fight lightly, I don't want to say it like that, but as my second loss, I kind of took that one a little bit too light and look at the outcome. But we live and we learn, that one stays in the past, and hopefully we just continue to keep moving forward.
You think boxing insiders, boxing media, they're sleeping on you because of that?
I believe they are, I believe they are. You got to start from the bottom now. You really, when they say you have to start from the bottom, you literally have to start from the bottom. You got to work your way back up, and that's what we're doing. And hopefully with this win next Thursday, we're going to continue to keeping our name in the loop, and continue to keep going. And whatever the Golden Boy has to throw at us, then we're going to be more than ready.
Well, anything you want to say to the fans in closing before we see you in the ring headlining on Thursday, April 21st, live on DAZN? Golden Boys' new series at the Fantasy Springs in Indio, California.
That puts a big smile on me just hearing it right now. But I just want to tell everybody, thank you for keeping me on my toes, and hopefully to see everybody that can make it out there. Hopefully we can see everybody there, and if you can't make it, then you can catch me on DAZN, live on DAZN. On
all my interviews, I have one goal: either try to make my guests smile or cry. So I made you smile.
Hey, if you were to make me cry, then we would have a problem. Well, thank you guys, and hopefully to hear from you guys soon.
Thank you for a couple minutes of your time. We wish you best of luck, and we'll talk to you along the way.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
There you have it, Joel Diaz Jr. He'll be in the main event this Thursday night on April the 21st, taking on my next guest, former, real contender, and he's looking for a big shot to get back into contention this Thursday night. That is Mercito Gesta, and this is how the interview went.
Yes.
Joining us now is Mercito Gesta, who on April 21st will take on Joel Diaz Jr. in the main event of a Golden Boys new series, Thursday night series on DAZN. Mercito, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel great. About to start with my dad after this workout. This interview. I'm gonna start my workout.
So talk about this fight on April 21st against Joel Diaz. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I'm excited. It's been a while since my last fight. Things happened. There's COVID and a lot of things going on. But I'm positive now actually that my wife is pregnant as well. So I came in this camp very, very happy and with a lot of energy towards my camp. So I'm excited and can't wait to get back again in the ring.
You just mentioned COVID. Was that the main reason or the most of the reason why this 2.5-year layoff?
Well, I was supposed to fight one. I forgot, was that 2020 or 21? But I had a food poisoning, and that the fight didn't happen. And after that, I kind of relaxed a little bit, and there's a lot of fights that time that fell off because of COVID. But a lot of things. So yeah, but for me, I still stay positive, keep trying to get in shape, and now I'm here, and I can't wait to get back.
Joel Diaz Jr., talk about him as an opponent.
Yes. Well, Joel Diaz, I've watched some of his fight. Strong, a hard hitter fighter. I think for me, to get that victorious need to be the quicker fighter, faster fighter, and make him miss and counter. And definitely we have a game plan towards that. But even though I feel like I'm the quicker and the faster fighter, I still can't underestimate, because both of us has both two hands and anything could happen in the ring.
This fight, I believe, is going to be at 140 pounds. Moving up in weight, you've done well, hovering around the lightweight limit of 135, 140. How's that suit you?
Actually, someone asked me too about 140. Actually, we're fighting for 135 at lightweight.
Okay.
Right now. Yes.
So I see. Yes. Okay. So I guess I ask another question. One of those fighters you've been around 135 for just about your whole career. Yes. And you've had a long and distinguished career. Have you ever had the inclination to move up? But it seems like you make 135 still after all these years.
Yes, I can still make 135. Although I made a 140 fight back then. But that was just like not the big fights. But 135, I still feel comfortable at 135. I still can make it 135. So I stick in 135, especially right now. There's a lot of good fighters in the 135 division.
You and Joel, you guys both have great records. You're 31-3. He's, I believe, 28-2. But similar in the sense that you guys have always been maybe like one fight away from breaking through for that big fight. Is that the way you look at it? You've been knocking on the door for me. I know you fought, Vasquez and fought for the world title, but you've been this close to kind of breaking through for that big fight opportunity. Is that the way you look at it? Him and you kind of in the same spot?
Could be, yes, it could be. I know he's also looking for that break again, and I think also me. That's always the goal as a fighter. Fighting for a world title and win for a world championship fight.
So 135, it's a strong division. Obviously, Ryan Garcia, a big win over the weekend. Gervonta Davis, Kambosos fighting Haney. There's some big opportunities there, especially with this win, maybe another win, and you're right in the mix. Is that the way you feel?
Yes, as a fighter, I always get excited seeing good fighters that dominating, and someday I wish that I could face them. That's the goal, as a fighter. Once you become a fighter, you're always going to be a fighter, and you always challenge yourself and thinking that, you know what, I want to fight the best.
Tell the fans out there, we'll let you go in a second. Tell the fans out there just some final thoughts, but what we can expect to see out of you on April 21st.
Yes. To all my fans out there, the new No Mercy fans, I can't wait to see you guys. I hope you guys can make it to the fight Thursday fight night at Indio Fantasy Spring. Get your tickets right now, and I have a great camp. I have a good camp. Now finishing up with my dad, so it's gonna be a good fight. And how I fight, it's gonna be a great fight, and can't wait to see you guys there.
Well, we look forward to seeing this fight, some Thursday night fight action live on DAZN. Mercito, thank you for a few minutes of your time, and we'll talk to you along the way, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you have it, Mercito Gesta, who takes on Joel Diaz Jr. this Thursday night, live on DAZN from the Fantasy Springs Resort in Indio, California. This Saturday afternoon here in the United States, 2 p.m., pay-per-view action. Tyson Fury defends the WBC and lineal heavyweight championship against Dillian Whyte in an all-British showdown. Looks like there'll be an upwards of, count it, 94,000 people at Wembley Stadium. It's going to be a terrific scene. One thing I'm not looking forward to is hearing 94,000 people sing "Sweet Caroline" before the main event. I don't understand the get up with the "Sweet Caroline" singing. But this should give me a good fight. Going to be a good fight week with Dillian Whyte, who's good personality, and obviously we know Fury is probably the best personality in the game. And it's going to be a good press conference leading up, weigh-in, and a great atmosphere. For me, Whyte does have a puncher's chance in this fight, but the way Fury's been going, since his return to the ring, the 3 Wilder fights, some of the other fights he's been in before that, he's looked sensational, and I have no reason to believe that he won't continue this momentum by maybe stopping or winning a lopsided decision against Dillian Whyte Saturday, and hopefully we will see Fury fight the winner of Usyk and Joshua, who look like they'll be getting it on sometime in June, maybe sometime this summer. So that the heavyweight division's heating up once again. We just had the great trilogy with Fury and Wilder, and now we're going to have Fury and Whyte, Usyk and Joshua rematch. So over the next couple months, we'll see some great fights in the heavyweight division. Former world champion Angel Acosta will face John L. Rivera on May 12th at the Fantasy Springs Hotel and Resort in Indio, California. That fight's going to be broadcast on DAZN. Some other fights I'm hearing in the works. Also, I believe it's going to be on May 14th or May 20th. I know we'll see Zurdo Ramirez back in action on DAZN, maybe taking on Dominic Bosel. And, we're going to have some great guests coming on over the next week. So we plan to have Tevin Farmer. We're going to push it back to next week. And also we're going to review Fury and Whyte. We're going to preview the 2 big shows on April 30th. That will feature Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. That fight's in Las Vegas live on ESPN. And also the big showdown, maybe the biggest fight in women's boxing history, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. We hope they have some guests on that will be participating. We're working on that on those 2 shows. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this week. Like I said, we're going to be doing this and maybe stretching it out maybe to an hour show in the next few weeks. We just wanted to do a 30-minute program for right now, and I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. For Marc Abrams, I'm